It's another very beautiful moment today, somewhere in a Sherry North, Lagos State, Nigeria, West Africa. Funny enough, ironically, today is 1st October, year 2018, 58 years after independence, 58 years after Nigeria won her independence from the colonial master, Britain. Lucky enough for us on South Africa TV, we are meeting a unique man, a man who is very aggressive for good fortune of his country, a man who is a visionary, a man who is iconic in his own make, a man who believes in the progress of Nigeria, especially in the progress of the young people of Nigeria. A job provider, a thinker, a doer, a seer, but also a frustrated Nigerian because of the nature of the country at 58. He is the presidential aspirant of African Democratic Congress Party in Nigeria, ADC. You must have read about him on few portals, you must have watched him on few YouTube channels, even on the television, talking about ideas that can change the country for good. Luckily, we've been chasing him in the last 4 months. He's been so busy, he's been tasking, it's not very easy to come by because he's into the production job, he's into the job of creating a new country, into the job of making a new dawn for the young people of Nigeria. I'm talking of the man, Mr. Desmond Okeowo Olasubomi, or you better still call him Mr. Okeowo Olasubomi Desmond, a businessman, a politician, and a man of our generation. We are very privileged to be with you today in your office, and it's been almost 4 months we've been trying to reach out to you, and most of the time we call you is either you are somewhere delivering a lecture or you are somewhere taking on a campaign of reorientation, trying to get people out of our normal intellectual paralysis in the country. But today, because we think today is iconic in the history of Nigeria, it's the 1st of October, the day Nigeria got her independence from Britain, and we felt that at 58, we should have somebody, a celebrity, that we will talk to, that will ignite the emotions of the people of Nigeria. We are privileged to be with you today, sir.
Thank you very much.
First and foremost, sir, how did you feel today, October 1, being a young entrepreneur, a presidential aspirant, and a symbol of the young people of Nigeria? How do you feel with Nigeria at 58? Are we good? Are we ugly? Or are we still what I don't want to say?
Well, I will thank God for life. Once again, thank you for having me on your show, Mr. Absabe. I will say we should thank God for life. But again, looking around us, I'm beginning to be hopeless.
What do you mean, hopeless?
At 58, our country is still where it is. We are almost stagnant. Even if we were stagnant, it would have been better. We're almost retrogressing again.
Retrogressing?
Yes. Last week, CBN issued a warning to the federal government that Nigeria might go back into recession. And
you're right.
I'm beginning to wonder what are the indices or the index responsible for a country that is thriving, that we are selling oil, we have a good population, we are exporting every day, and we seem to be fighting corruption, now going back into recession. Something is not right. Now, it is not, the problem is not going back into recession. The problem is not the way the economy is. The problem is that hope is being cancelled.
Hope being cancelled.
We had, you and I had...
That is a very strategic step.
Yes, you and I had a very enormous belief in President Buhari.
That was 2015.
2015.
2015.
Coupled with Osinbajo, Professor Yemi Osinbajo coming on board, we all had hope. Now, if this duo cannot fix this country, and they are not making any attempt at it, I can't see anybody in this team making any attempt at it, then hope is lost.
Mr. Subomi, let me take you quickly to the editorials today. Guardian is having an editorial Nigeria at 58, and he said, what is Nigeria celebrating at 58? Then the first line says, genuine independence embodies actionable steps aimed toward federalism. It entails a recognition of the deep diversity that makes up Nigeria. It is a conscious effort by Nigerians to challenge myopic leadership and narrow-mindedness that tend to enslave them. It is also the endeavor by groups to extricate themselves from forced unanimity. I mean, and if you look at the one of Punch on page 36, the editorial said, without strong institution, democracy won't fly. It says, Nigeria marks our 58th independence anniversary today. Celebration that attend such event elsewhere are expected around the country, though political leaders will give the usual plan and on inspiring speeches to mark a hugely significant national holiday. The reality, however, is that for the majority of the estimated 193 million odd population, emotion range from pessimism to gloom and a general disappointment.
Wow.
Do you agree with all this?
I mean, I haven't even read that. And so the editor who wrote that story said to gloom, pessimism, and hopelessness.
Yes, sir.
Gloom, pessimism,
yeah,
and hopelessness.
Not optimism.
Not optimism. You're optimistic in something when you have hope in that thing. You're optimistic. But when you're pessimistic, that is, you have zero belief. So
what's the problem? I mean, when
Mr. Asabe, if you have been following my interviews in the last couple of months,
yeah, because I can see you as someone that knows fear, and I can see fear written all over you.
Yes,
and that's why we have to pursue you.
I have said carefully that, in fact, there's a famous philosopher, Plato, who said, until philosophers become kings, the problems of a nation or the problems of a state will never ever go away until philosophers become kings, or the kings truly and really become philosophers. The problems we have are not far-fetched. When I sit down on this seat and I say stress, man-made pressure is one of the killers of the economy. People don't believe. How do I mean? Take for example, sir, today, 67 to 70% of what is bought by our government into this country to run governance they are all being imported from China or whatever.
Imported.
67. Now, I was privy to the records at Ministry of Information where they bought computers worth about 2 billion.
2 billion
till tomorrow, go and see the computers, the cars, the equipment they use to run governance in all the parastatals. They are equipment bought into the country to run the country. Now, hold on to listen. See, you take the taxes of Nigerians to go and spend outside the country. Now, some not too deep people will say, what's this man talking about? Are we not supposed to buy and they also buy from us? No.
Because of globalization.
There are two things, philosophically, empirically, and economically, that any government must live with its people. The first one is prosperity. Prosperity.
Yes.
The second one, wealth. The creation of wealth, creation of jobs. The second one is posterity. Posterity means the future. Establishing the future. Actually. Ensuring the future is ensured. Now, the government of the day has not done either. No prosperity. Then you still take all the money and go and buy things from China. Ensuring posterity from Chinese people, and these are our own taxes. Do you know what taxes are, Mr. Sabe? Taxes are a quarter of, your life.
Yeah,
they take your life.
Your blood.
Your blood. Yeah. You know, blood is life.
Blood is life.
So
your money is in your blood.
Yeah, your life.
Taking part of it at
this money. In fact, it is the biggest crime of any government against this, the citizen of any nation or any sovereign nation is to take their taxes and go and buy things outside the country, except in the cases of war. At will. Except in the cases of war.
When there are no means of production.
What's it called now? Medical epidemic, not medical challenges. Medical epidemic, a serious epidemic. Then you can say, okay, let's spend our taxes to bring in drugs and things to alleviate.
Are you saying that Nigerians are not economically groomed or our economic policies are not?
It's just we need to, you see, the way the whole thing works, like I said.
Yeah, because in history we talk about economic protectionism.
Yes.
Yeah, economic protectionism.
Like I said.
Yes, sir.
The Ministry of Information, for example, earmarked 2-point-something billion to 3 billion to buy computers. Let me ask you a question. If you spend 100 million naira to buy equipment in your company, are you with me?
Of course.
Would you not have thought what those equipment will generate back? You
You
would have done what we call, God bless you, we even call it a cash flow projection. I'm going to buy equipment of 100 million. This is how I'm going to use it. And at the end of 365 days, this is what it's going to bring up. Tell me what the Ministry of Information adds to the GDP or to the economy of Nigeria.
I don't think there is anything that to inform
Now,
information
exactly.
dissemination.
Information dissemination.
Yes.
Typing. Now
Yeah.
tell me, why would your taxes and my taxes be spent in that manner?
Outrageous.
So we spend so much, we waste so much. Take for example, let's use Lagos State as a case study.
Yes, sir.
There are people who live in Yanopaja, there are people who live in Ikorodu, there are people who live on the outskirts of Lagos, Owe, Ibafo, and they all work in VI.
Forget of outskirts towns.
Outskirts towns, they work in VI. Now look at the amount of time these people use in traffic just to go and walk.
That is,
now,
that
hold
is
on,
an
sir.
understatement.
Hold on. Do you know, let us now break it down. Do you know that the amount of people used from point A to point B, all in the name of work, can, short. Okay, let's take for example somebody that comes from Yanobaja to VI.
Okay.
3 hours to walk, 3 hours back to
That's 6 hours.
That's 6 hours of your time in a day taken out for nothing. That is one. If you give me 6 hours every day, free like that, I will write a bestseller. Now, that's number one. Number two, have you thought deep down how much in wear and tear and in petrol that is being wasted away, all in the name of work? Just break it down. Every car a day must spend about 4,000 naira for that 6-hour transportation. Times 4,000 times about 2-3 million vehicles in a day. That is what is being wasted in this Lagos alone that we are not taking cognizance of.
And government is not interested.
Not interested. That's, God bless you. I love that word you use. Government is not interested into alleviating these things. That it is only a man that is off pressure that can think about production.
Of course.
So the government of the day met it that way and continued that way. Nobody has thought, you know, in Yoruba they say Ejeka dasile, kawa to sha. Nobody is ready to dasile.
No,
Today,
can you repeat it again?
Ejeka dasile, ka fowewe, kashewa to sha. That's what Yoruba says. Today, people are clamoring for more money in minimum wage. They say the 18,000 naira is not enough.
Of course, it's miserable. 18,000
Yes.
because I was coming to that. Because there was a particular interview where you said you're going to give me, you're going to give me 5,000, but we're going to that because that was very controversial.
Yes.
When Mr. Moyole Showore, another presidential aspirant
Yes.
on the AAC platform, is saying, "Oh, I'm going to make it 100,000 from 18,000," but we're coming to that.
Okay.
So what are you trying to say now?
Okay, no, I was going to say about the minimum wage.
Yeah.
When you have 18,000 for a graduate, 50,000 now. How much is it for NYC now? 30-something thousand thereabouts.
Yes, I think it's 19,000.
19,000, but they said they've increased it. Okay, let's even say NLC is saying give us 50,000, government will give them 30. Now hold on a second. Showore has said that if he becomes president, he will raise it to 100,000. Now, why do we so believe in money? Sir,
Money.
yeah, why do we so believe in paper money? It is the value that you put on that paper that makes it a legal tender. Am I right?
Something, yeah, you're right.
It is the
Very
value.
right. The value
That you put on that paper. Remember, it's paper.
Yeah, it's paper.
That makes it a legal tender. Now, underline the word value. Underline the word legal tender. Now, why don't we take the value out of that paper and create the value physically?
How do you create it physically?
God bless you.
How? Because economic.
The first thing is this. Let's break it down.
Yes, sir.
Take everything that seems to be affecting the people one by one. First is education for the youth.
Good.
You pay so much money to send kids to school.
Fortune.
Second one is buying of day-to-day things, especially cars. You pay so much to buy used cars. Why don't we bring the value of production of a car down so that people won't buy? Have you not thought of that? Education, for example, if the government makes education free, underline, put the word free in quotes,
Yeah.
from primary school to professorship, the government of my day would make it free. As soon as you get out of school, you find a job, you pay back.
But not as free as free.
Not as free. Nothing is free.
But,
nothing is free.
Yep.
No lunch is free. Trust me. Yeah. So not even in Freetown.
Yep.
If you are going to secondary school, the entire bill for secondary school, hostel, books, food, is say 100,000. The government is ready to pay that on behalf of people who say they want a loan. Fine. But as soon as you get out of secondary school, the government will absorb you to work for that 100,000.
Immediately.
They will get. It happens abroad. College, university, doctorate. Yeah. If you go America, London, they give you what they call education grant. So you get into school, no stress. They give you even food, your pocket money, everything. But as soon as you graduate, you get your job. The next thing is you start paying back.
The system absorbs you. The system uses you creatively.
Creatively. I mean, you know you have gone to school.
Yeah.
As you are out of school, there is work waiting for you. You are just paying back this loan bit by bit. Then cars, what does it cost us to carry a Toyota manufacturing company, Peugeot, Volkswagen to come and produce in Nigeria? Have you not thought, sir, that just few years back, Nissan, Volkswagen were sold for less than 10,000 naira.
Now, yes, when I was growing up in my own days, my father, I think, used to buy Volkswagen for 3,000.
3,000 then.
Peugeot 404,
yes. There was
a very fancy car then, Volkswagen.
Nissan was the most expensive one that came.
Yes, of course, 8,000.
Yeah, then you go to. Now, what happened between those years from 13,000 naira car? All of a sudden, you are buying used car for 3.5 million.
It's so detrimental.
So what exactly? Now, this is when the government is not thinking. See, if you want to buy a Mercedes G-Wagon, they will tell you it's 60 million. Those cars, those big Jeeps, some are there as much as 75 million. Now, take for example, the cost of 75 million, nothing in that car was made in Nigeria. Nothing. So the total 75 million went to Japan or wherever that car is coming from. Hang on a second. Now reverse the case now, take the 75 million to build a property in Nigeria. And then that property is giving you rent every month. Would you be richer or you'll be poorer?
I'll be richer.
God bless you. So, but now you've taken 75 million to Germany or to Japan or to China to buy one car. And then you cannot spend 75 million alone in Nigeria. You will create more jobs. Of course. That's what we call wealth distribution. So nobody is thinking.
You're still talking about value.
Value, yes sir. Nobody is thinking in this line. I am going to be the first president of Nigeria. My official car will be a bicycle.
What do you mean?
Yes.
I can't just.
My official car will be a bicycle.
I think there's a president that's like that.
Yes. France, Netherlands, they were all right. My own official car.
Bicycle.
Bicycle.
Are you serious, sir?
Yes. I have to do.
Are you serious?
All those cars in Aso Rock, they have to go.
I tend to disbelieve you.
That's why.
Bicycle.
Let's wait till then.
Bicycle.
My official car in fact, I don't know anything about a president sitting down in one place and doing paperwork. As a president, I have to go around the nation. My office is in Lagos today. My office is in Abeokuta tomorrow. My office is in Yola next tomorrow. My office is in Kaduna tomorrow. I need to make sure all hands on deck. I don't want to know anything about Aso Rock. I don't want to know anything about signing of paper. I want to be on the street to see what an average Nigerian is going through.
That's the kind of presidency.
That's the kind of presidency I need.
You are going to be. You are going to run.
Yes.
You are going to run.
Yes.
With your wealth, you are rich.
Sir.
How are you going to?
When I make, in fact,
do a 360 degree.
When I make money, you can find out from my staff.
Okay.
Every time I make money, I think about creating another business. I don't have savings. I don't have big cars. I don't think. Okay, we have made, how much have we made today? We got some money, 10 million. Let's think about another business, employ more people into it. It will amaze you, at my level, at my age, I have created an employment that I need to fill 360,000 Nigerians into. Today I have 1,180.
Yeah.
I can fill in 360,000 Nigerians there. I can train 1 million Nigerians in the next 2-3 years.
Where did you get that strength? I mean, the innovation, the ability. Because a lot of people would make the money and you see them, they get to enjoying transport Hilton with some beautiful lady. You go and pick one fancy car.
This is where
you want to buy the next jet.
Yeah, this is where we miss it. In fact,
And even some will buy G-Wagon for their wives.
Apologies to people who drive these cars. The makers of these cars don't even drive them.
Are you sure?
Go to the countries. You will see. The white people, the people that made them, don't even have time to drive them. When they drive them, listen, have you thought deep down like this that the Mercedes G500 was created for one thing? It was created to move heavy equipment.
That car that we're using for fancy.
For fancy, yes. It wasn't created. Even the Mercedes G, even the Land Cruisers, the Toyota Land Cruiser, the big cars, they were created to climb mountainous terrain. Today in Nigeria is what we use as status. Yes. The man that created it for something else. Now that is where you see the, I won't have any other name for it other than madness of an average Nigerian.
Maybe we can call it sophisticated madness.
It's not even sophisticated madness, it's brash madness. I was on TV on a show with Fowles the bad guy and the other lady Leila. And then I told them, you see, we cannot produce anything, not that we are not wired to produce, not that we are dunce, not that we are bad. The situation we found ourselves cannot allow anything to go.
This is a crazy one. This is very.
Nobody has thought as it like in 2010 I wrote this book. 1001 insane things we do as Nigerians. 1001 insane things we do as Nigerians. And I dedicated it to a couple of people. First was God. I dedicated to Obasanjo. Then I dedicated to Maron Ribadu, who was doing a lot then. I dedicated to Bishop David Oyedepo, who taught me a lot growing up. I dedicated to Mrs. Dora Akunloye, professor, who is dead now, blessed memories. I also dedicated to Professor Charles Toludo. I've never met all these people, but I felt their impact
in your business,
in my business and in the country. I dedicated to my principal in Ijebu-Ode school and all the people that.
What's the name of the principal?
Professor, Mr. Yemi Osinbajo.
Ijebu-Ode school.
Yeah.
You are a master.
Yeah. So we have a long way to go. Unfortunately, all our leaders are. I won't say they are bad.
No, let's even go back to the independence.
Yes.
Growing up in the early times, after the independence, Nigeria used to be a very great country. It was a country everybody looked up to and said, oh, tomorrow is going to be bright, yes. Things are free, you get out of school, and 4 or 5 companies are already trying to poach you. Some are begging with a car, with the house and all that. Growing up in your old days, what kind of picture did you see? What kind of picture did you see growing up, and at what time did that picture become blurred? So
you asked me a question I've never thought of, but I will now reflect on this show. Growing up, my father was a foremost industrialist. He built roads. The quarter of the express highway, Abeokuta Express Highway, all those roads you see on Rubire, Allen Avenue, Awolowo Way, my dad built them.
What's his name, sir?
Okeowo Construction Company. Yeah. So he had, we'd always had, growing up, I've always seen over 300, 400 staff in my father's office. And they all knew me because I was ready to learn 1 or 2 things, So it was more like that was a norm for me. Employment never came. My father, as a billionaire, he had only 3 or 4 shoes. He wasn't elaborate, So it was just a norm for me. Now, we had it all good until, at what time did this thing shift really?
Yeah.
I think it was the military era or something
Precaution.
that happened and the country just went dead. And in my house, I remember my father was being owed for jobs that he had done for years, a whole lot of money. And it was a time
by government,
yes, yes, there was a time we used to kill cows and stuff at Christmas. We only had turkey and chicken and stuff like that. It went down. So we've had a lot of people in government who didn't know anything about governance, and they handled people's destiny.
They manipulated people's destiny.
To be honest with you, for us to get out of this thing we are in as a nation takes a strong person, takes a visionary person and a young person who has all the energy.
But don't you think it also takes a strong conviction from the masses? Because today we have a cream of people who are cynical. You know, you talk about something serious and you know, a kind of people that I think the Guardian called forced unanimity. People who listen to Godfather, who believe that, oh, so don't you think we also need a reorientated citizenry that can push for a new leadership that will bring forth a refreshed Nigeria? And you're not afraid that you are just wasting your time?
One thing I know about the crop of leaders we have in Nigeria is that they are also feeling the heat.
Oh, they're feeling the heat. Okay, sir. How, sir?
In Yoruba again, they say, Adieba loko, ara roku, ara raku. You can't be too, there's no amount of money you have, and then you say you are all, it's not possible. You will have a driver who will steal from you, you have a cook who will want to, you know, be bribed to poison you, and that means you have to be up and doing, which you really don't need when you are relaxed. So the crop of leaders, the crop of leaders, and luckily I'm very close to a few that we have today are also listening. Take for example, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who is a leader of the African People's Congress, APC.
All Progressive Congress.
All Progressive Congress. Sorry, I mean I'm used to the All African Democratic Congress. If you know, mixed feelings here and there. Some people say this, some people say that. But if he wasn't a good man or a good leader, he wouldn't have picked Babatunde Raji Fashola, who did extremely well. So I can tell you categorically that the leaders are also Nigerians. If a leader, let's say a leader puts himself in one big cocoon, surrounded by all the mopos in the world, what about his children and his wife? Would they not mix up with you and I?
They are going to be with us.
So, society. Thank God we even have the issue of kidnapping has gone down. You remember in those days, it was rife. So
the last 2 years was crazy.
It was crazy. So I can tell you that the problem is not about the Baba Sokwe or the leadership that we have.
Enforced unanimity. That's what I'm saying. Enforced unanimity.
That the Baba can just bring.
Yes.
That's okay. That's exactly why people like us are coming out. And like I've always heard good people in politics say,
because a lot of people are afraid for you. They say, oh, this man is too young. He has brought a lot of ideas from the US. He has invested so much in Nigeria. Will they allow him? That's the question they're asking.
Who are they?
No, that's the perception.
Why is it they?
Will they allow Okeowo Olasubomi?
Yes.
Will they allow Moyele Sowore? Will they allow Dr. Chris Mugalu?
Yes.
Will they allow Fela Dutoye? Your crop.
Yeah.
The new generation of
who are this day? When you say this day, there's nobody who is who in Nigeria that I have not really had one-on-one with. And they all feel the same way. You guys go and get them thing. There is no day anywhere. Trust me.
So it's a mystery.
It's a mystery. God bless you, it's a mystery. That day is just a mysterious name given to the lack of, you know, what we need to do.
Courage.
Courage, yeah. Go to Mina today, you knock on General Babagida's door, he opens the door for you and he advises you on what to do, the mistakes he has made, what you guys need to do. Go to Mina tomorrow, go to General Salami's place, he opens, go to Obasanjo's place, he will sit you down, eat with you, play ayo with you and tell you. The same is the man we have in power today, President Muhammad Buhari. Go and meet him somewhere, he will still advise you that he doesn't know. And if, don't forget, he was also sick, that he thought they were going to kill him. Yeah. So who were this day that wanted to kill him? We used to think these were the powers that be, but they are telling you guys, see, the day in Nigeria is the man-made pressure.
Man-made pressure?
Yes! You can never, I told President Buhari, I said, Excellency, you cannot take corruption out of Nigeria. 10 of you can do it. If 100 of you can do it.
Why did you say
because so? People would always steal when they have no other option to feed. See, have you not, Mr. Asabe?
That's the scientific.
Have you not seen people dying in pensioners dying on?
Of course.
On a queue.
Have
you not seen?
States?
Have you not seen elderly people, you know, being treated like nonsense here in this country?
No.
Would you want to grow up like that?
No way, sir.
Would you ever imagine you growing up like that?
No
So
way, sir.
how will you think you will not be corrupt in this country? Eh? It's just a mathematical thing, because look at today, we run diesel, all this power you see now. I have a 500 kVA, 350 kVA, 150 kVA.
If when I was coming, I was surprised. We heard the gen blaring.
That's even a small one. That's a tiny one that we just have to, because I can't put on, it's a holiday today. We have a 500 kVA, a 350 kVA, and a 150 kVA. I'll take you on a tour. To power the 150 kVA cost us about 22 liters an hour.
22 liters
times 250 naira. That's 50,000 naira. I mean, 5,000 naira thereabouts that we spend every hour. And we're here for how long? In every 24 hours we run. So now tell me, with this kind of pressure that is already there, how would as it is today, if you move into a property,
yep,
and the last occupant of that property had a debt of 1 million naira in electricity, which is not by your making, you will not get one pinch of light until you pay that 1 million that you did to IKEDC or Benin Distro or Abuja Distro or Ibadan Distro. So what kind of country are we running? This is exactly, we have created a mystery where everybody wants to eat you just to survive. That is the day.
Somebody, you don't want to close down your company to start their
own company. Yeah.
The role of myopia.
Exactly.
Now let me ask you this now, as a young presidential aspirant, when you drive around town, you see young people in clusters. Some of them lotto addicts, some of them codeine addicts, some of them drinking addicts, some of them name it, marijuana, anything like that. What happens to you, your side, and you drive around and you see them in that state of appearance? What happened to you?
That's the height of humanity to man. When as a leader, I see another man being wasted. You only have one life, for crying out loud. I have postulated in my economic blueprint for this nation that until we actively and forcefully underline the word actively and forcefully, keep the youths at work, they will not want to work. Mind you, nobody really wants to work. It's a human nature thing. You really don't want to, you wish the money to just come from abroad, from above. Yeah. Now, take for example, we have 17 million housing deficit today.
Of course,
that's what they say in Nigeria, but I think it's more.
It's even more.
It's more. I would say
17 million, okay.
I would say 140 million.
Of course.
Because all the houses we call houses today, about 37 to 40% of them are slums that should have been wiped off.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
Like what's happening in China?
Yeah. What I intend to do is to build houses for virtually all the youths.
As the president of
the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will take the slum, whoever is living, I'll break it down and raise it high up. If the land can take it. Then the landowner, I'll give you your own house. The remaining will be for rent for youths. And the rent will be so cheap. If I build 20 million units of houses nationwide, you know I have created some revolution there. Number one, jobs will be created by the building. I'll now link all those housing units by rail, 24 hours. So that you can live in Kwara State and be working in VI. So that you can live in Benin State and be working. Not and be traveling, and be working.
How are you going to do that?
I studied my college days, Mid-Kent College. In Chatham, I work in Gillingham. 1 hour. Have you been to UK, sir? You need to live there. The entire country is linked by, people don't drive, they don't have the time. Linked by rail. Now, what makes people work abroad is not because they want to work. It's because the bills are there and they are staring you in the eye. And then once you can't pay the bill, they throw it out on the street. That will put Nigerians at work.
So the system deals with you there?
Yeah, the system builds you for what we are made of. Today, an average Nigerian youth will come to the table and tell you I have BSc 2-1, and then they'll tell you, you know, I need to get 200,000 a month because I have a 2-1, or because I went to school in Manchester, or I went to Babcock and stuff. They will even determine the stuff, and then we've gone ahead to be paying this money that we are actually not earning. So in 3, 4, 5, I mean, have you heard? Just see, when I look at the society, I laugh. In no time.
That is as a job creator, as a job giver, as someone who employs.
If we build houses around the nation, well, wherever we find the land. Today, in Punch, well, no, it was yesterday, federal government saying that they will build ranches on federal government land. Fantastic idea. That means federal government actually have lands nationwide. Those are the lands I will earmark, and build houses for youths on the 2-bedroom flat, 3-bedroom flat. As a graduate, or if you can pay for it, 20,000, 25,000 a month, please take a key to the house. And you only just is the house is for the government, the maintenance is done by the government, or of course that creates a lot of jobs. And then you link these places by rail. Now the rent you collect from those houses can be used to even pay pension. That is the youth energy working to feed the old.
The energy of the young.
I'm talking to you today. All the pension we are paying the old people are from petrol, are from oil. How much years do we have before
for that thing dries off?
The thing will dry off.
Yeah.
43 years, so they say. Now let's even say it may not dry off. They are discovering there and there.
We're having cars that are using electric cars now.
Yeah, just
and the whole
Europe, France, China.
Very soon it will be an attractive commodity.
And that's what we are banking on. That's what we are paying people on. That's what, see.
We're not even looking at
until we have visionary leaders, people who can plan. You see the way I planned it,
yes,
for 40, 50 years.
I'm surprised that you're talking about the house revolution now.
Yeah.
And I've not had this before.
Yeah.
I've not even seen anybody analyze it this way.
Yeah.
You're going to build houses and rail them
for
road network, and you're going to put young people there to pay conveniently.
Conveniently. You will be forced to pay, because if you owe your rent for 3 months, you are thrown out by the government. Now, because you will be forced to pay, are you with me? And you are leaving there to get to work. Government will so make it very attractive. You will be forced to do any job they ask you to come and do.
So
if they give you 3 jobs a day, your arrogance will go up. God bless you. That's what keeps our people at work abroad.
You can do anything, but here they tell you no.
I did, as far as my father was
rich as
I was a security in my school house in London. A security. In fact, there was one side they took me to. My job was to open the gate for trucks that were sweeping the city of London. I looked at myself, I said, me? But I braced up to do it, that this is a phase in my life that was going to develop to who I am today. How many people, can anybody call you or me today to come and do security? Or your child?
We will not allow it.
We will not allow it.
We will resist it.
Meanwhile, this is what our people are doing about security.
Just last week, President Magufuli of Tanzania flew into the UN, and he flew in public transport.
I told
in a public airline.
I'm going to sell all the airlines of Nigeria.
As the
president of Nigeria, the ones that we can convert to military use will convert to military use. All the Mercedes-Benz you see in that place, they're going to be sold. I don't need them.
Are you not going to be afraid of assassination attempts?
If my people assassinate me, so be it.
No, because you won't be driving bicycle.
Well, if, like I said, I'm not saying I'm ditching my security details. I have to be secured. Okay. You never can tell. There are extremists here and there. But that I will drive around in the expensive Mercedes-Benz, fly around in the private jet. Of what economic importance? As a businessman, if I put 2 naira into my business, mind you, that 2 naira must bring me an extra 2 naira. And you can see in the parable of the talent in the Bible,
Babylonian.
the talent, where the man gave
2 to 1, 5 to 1.
Yeah. You must multiply. Double it. Any economy that does not learn the art of doubling is a joker economy. The only thing, like I said, that is still keeping us is that oil that we're still selling. When that oil dries up one day, or the buyers of that oil say they are not buying anymore, or the demand of that oil starts to go down,
we're in trouble.
Then you see human beings who eat human beings. Now, the other part of eating human beings is corruption. The smart ones, the ones that know that this thing can happen, they are the ones grabbing it and hiding it. You and I are complaining and complaining. They are looking at you that I wish you know what is coming ahead. And that is where corruption will continue. Put 9 million of Magus there. Put 100 million of General Buhari there. They are joking. Tell President Buhari I said that he's a joker when it comes to corruption. Until you learn the art of diffusing the pressure man has deliberately caused by himself. The government's job is to diffuse this thing and help them understand it. If this China that we're talking about, when they were going to start, they said you must not give birth to one child, more than one child. In fact, when you had 2 children, they collected one and put them in the hospitals for other people to come and adopt them. How drastic. They call them the draconian economic policies. Today, look at where China is. Are you going to allow that to happen with this kind of our culture? The earlier, the better we understand where the problem of man is coming from. Today, as we are speaking, there are human beings, women, who will still wear used bras to sleep in Nigeria. How rich this country is. There are people who are buying used jeans, used shoes, used socks, and used clothes in this country. There are human beings like you and I who still feed under $2. And you see the white men, they come. Theresa May was here a couple of months ago. Said Nigeria are some of the poorest, and they will still become some of the poorest in the world. They know what they are saying. That, guys, if you don't understand
the dynamics,
God bless you. The dynamics, no economics. All this paper they write. What is? Have you thought about what exchange rate means?
I think we should talk much about that. Exchange rate.
Yes. It's madness. It's a farce.
Yeah.
It's a farce and a madness created by, people that just talk jargons. Exchange rate simply means I will carry my wealth. 5 million naira is what I've worked for in Nigeria, which I have in the bank. I'll use it to buy $3,000. $3,000 can only buy one Toyota Corolla in America. Meanwhile, $5 million, $5 million can buy me a land in Mowe and build me a bungalow that I will make into different rooms for students. Alleviating poverty for the students, because now they have a better room. And their little money is also giving me money. Giving me my own livelihood to survive in my country. But I'll carry that and go and buy a used Toyota Prado just because I want to form big man. That is what exchange rate is all about. It is designed, I don't know who designed it, I don't know for what purposes, to impoverish importing countries.
Maybe under the concept of globalization.
Well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know how that will sustain us. So today, ordinary petrol we cannot refine. Ordinary oil we can't refine here. We import and we buy dollar. So for every $100 you buy, you are still 36,000. Do you know what you can use 36,000 for? 36,000 will buy you Nigeria made shoes, Nigeria made clothes. When you purchase a Nigeria made shoe and Nigeria made clothes, you have done what we call wealth creation, because you have purchased from Nigeria. It goes on and on, ripple effect. But 36,000 will buy you $100 that will go over there, and then the money is wiped off.
Just like that.
Just like that. So when economists come and say they know anything about governance, just lie. Until you diffuse these little bombs, time bombs that are hidden, nobody is going anywhere.
You have to give Nigerians an industry message. Today is 58 years of Nigeria. We've gone through the worst times, we've gone through the good times, but the worst times seems to be more than the good times. As a presidential aspirant, and by the grace of God, the next president of the Republic on the African Democratic Congress Party, what's your advice for the good people of Nigeria, especially in diaspora, people watching you in London, in America, in Australia, in Germany, people that believe that what you are saying is really true, who are not taking you for a ride? What is your message for Nigerians at the 58th Independence message?
My people, I want to thank you for your support so far and your prayers. Together we can still rescue this nation. Haile Selassie said, and I quote, "It is better to live as, it is better to die as a hero than live as a coward." When all of us run away from this man-made problems. These are man-made problems. Angels, devils didn't make them. We made them ourselves. And when we run away from it, who's going to sort it out? Remember, most of you will want to come back home. You will still make these problems when you come back, probably tripled or quadrupled. So I want to say, let us not junket hope. Let us not trash hope. Let us come together as a people and do this thing. This country can still be salvaged, because this is still one of the best countries that I have seen and I have lived in. I hope for a better Nigeria. I pray for a better Nigeria every day. And my life, all my investments are here. I want you to follow me on this journey, and let's rescue this nation. Nigeria shall be good. Nigeria shall conquer its problems. Nigeria shall arise again. Thank you very much.